So Kate, you're at it again, always busy and creating events for lots of us book lovers. I want to talk a little bit about the Teen Writers Conference that you put together. You actually worked with Marston's Mills Library to do this, right?
Yes, so Lindsay Hughes, who is the YA librarian for Marston's Mills, came to me. She wanted to do some classes, which we've done before, and I said, well, why don't we just roll it into a teen conference this year? And she had grant money to handle the conference, so it's free to teenagers, and it's a long period of time. So they actually, rather than just getting a piece of writing advice, they get to see their own writing bloom. And kids nowadays are so limited on what they can do and the freedoms they have with school and extracurriculars. When they write, they actually have control over their own world. So it's a great chance for them to do whatever they wish inside a book.
Wow, and what a great opportunity for no cost to attend, because as we know, so many things cost a lot of money. You can sign up for some really great writing courses, but they oftentimes cost a lot of money, and they may not be available here on Cape Cod. So really cool to see this happening for teens. What ages are we talking about here?
So 13 through 18, basically the true teen ages. They can register online. We are almost full, so if anybody wants to get in, they need to get in quickly. There's a limit on how many kids we'll take this year, and we hope to make it bigger next year and slowly build and build until it's a fairly sizable ordeal, I guess.
What kind of classes are available during the Teen Writers Week?
So they actually will work through an entire series of classes from the start, which is a pitch for their own book, and then they'll build outwards and backwards, and they'll work on action scenes and dialogue, and we even have something called the Ball of Destiny, where they all sit and toss a ball to each other and work out story issues that each of them are having. If one of them says, I'm stuck, we stop, we sit down, and we start just off the fly figuring out where our character's going and what their drive is.
So do you love teaching and working with kids or teens and helping them sort of hone their passion for writing?
I absolutely love working with teenagers. I think their imagination is entirely unjaded. So whereas when I love working with adults too, but adults are like, no, that would never happen, where teenagers are like, sure it can. So they have this passion and this drive that's just uncontained, and working with them and seeing them look at something they've built and go, my gosh, I've done this myself, this is my world, my control, is phenomenal. And plus, some of the stuff they come out with just blows me away. I mean, even as a novelist, I'm like, wow, forget it, I'm done. They're the best things I've ever heard.
Wonderful. You know, important, I think, too, to give them that inspiration at a time and that confidence, because I think writing, it really does take a lot of confidence to share your work with other people. You're always afraid. We're always the harshest critics on ourselves, I think, and we're always fearful of what others might say. So do you talk to teen writers about these issues?
I do, and amazingly, teenagers, when it comes to writing, almost seem to have a thicker skin than adults. And I think they're a little more merciful, too, when they read stuff. So nowadays, you can load a lot of things online, like Wattpad and Fiction Press, and so your work can already be read. The goal for me is to take whatever they have and sharpen it down, so when they do want to put it live, they're less likely to get the occasional adult that's like, this is lousy, or it's missing this, or that wouldn't happen. Plus, in the Writers' Conference, these kids exchange numbers, emails. They start to create their own writing groups, and they last. So they're building friendships based on this common passion of storytelling and writing and book reading. And pretty soon, by the time you get to class, they beat you to the school. So they're all waiting and chatting, and you're like, oh, I'm finally here, but they're ready to go. And it's just a great time for them.
Now, if someone's interested, if someone's watching and saying, this would be great for my teen, how can they sign up?
So they have to go to either the Marston's Mills Library. They can either call them or appear in person. Find Lindsay Hughes. Like I said, she's the YA librarian. Or they can register online at CapeCodTeenWritersConference.com. There's a button at the top of the screen that says register, and it's an online form, and we will get it and ping them back that we've received the information.
Great, and they need to do that quickly because spots are filling up.
They do.
I want to talk to you too about another event as part of Teen Writers Week. You're having a Cape Cod Teen Writers panel. Who's going to be a part of the panel?
Oh my goodness, we have 11 writers. They're all from the New England area. Off the top of my head, it's Amy Ewing, Hillary Monahan, who also writes as Eva Darrows, Michael Bailey, Katie Beryl, gosh, I'm trying to think, myself, Catherine Knight. Who else do we have? I'm trying to think of everyone. It's a huge panel. We tried to represent every single person we could think of, Emily Ross, Huntley Fitzpatrick, and they represent a large genre panel. So you have everyone from urban fantasy to horror to, you know, contemporary to historic fiction. And that's important because these teenagers that are coming, they're not just, you know, writing Harry Potter, they're writing a million different variations of what they have a passion in. So showing them people who started just like them. You know, some of them liked writing when they were young, some of them, like me, couldn't stand writing. And now these people have books out and they understand the process. And plus you get to ask these people anything you want, and they're very, very hard to reach on social media. So it's a great chance to do that as well.
Yeah, you know, that actually, the panel is open to the public and also free to attend. Is that correct?
It is. It's open to the public. You know, get there early. It's going to be at the Marston's Mills United School, which is where the teen conference is as well.
Yeah, that Barnstable United Elementary School.
Correct. Osterville, West Barnstable Road, I believe.
Yep.
And, you know, there'll be books there for sale if people want to grab them from Tickcombs. We tried to get Meg Cassell's book early. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But she has a fabulous new book coming out as well. And like I said, it's a great chance to ask questions, to get insight, and to get honest answers from authors who have been there, who were writers, who were children. You know, I think sometimes teenagers look at adult writers and go, "You were never a kid." And then we're like, "No, seriously, at one point we were you." So it's a great chance to realize that as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us today, telling us all about the author panel and Teen Writers Week. Of course, if anyone wants more information, they can go to CapeCodTeenWritersConference.com. Thank you, Kate. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our guest today, author Kate Conway.